quick shower, freshen up.
It's 7:45. I hope you can hear me. Can someone tell me they can hear me? Because, hi everybody, this is Roger in Kansas City. And I was having some real technical difficulties last night. But hopefully we are up and running today. And I'm going to wait here for a second just to see if I get any reply from anybody. Can you hear me? Lost my commercial. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Hey, okay, first, we got a good turnout. Hi, Rob. Hi, Concerned American Pond. Annie, PSP. Annie again. Bullpucky. Hi, okay. Lisa, Post. Thorn. Stu Dillinger. I recognize you. Wendy, Tartaria, how you doing there? Rolly R. Yeah, Rib, yeah, that person there. And here we are in the heart of Kansas City, if you can hear sirens. And let me just check all this out. Annie and Scott, Thorn, Iron. I hope I didn't miss anybody. So, thanks for making it. And I've never done anything like this before. I've only done on my phone these live streams. So, bear with me because it's kind of a new for me. So, what I thought we would do tonight is we're going to take a look around and at just some of the things that I have, a few things I've done, and some of the things that didn't make it into videos that were published, but there's some interesting stuff out there. And if you get bored, just someone type "I'm getting bored," because I'm going to try something. God help us if it may not work, but we're going to take some phone calls from you, and I hope this works. So let's get going. And Swope Park, I work out there. Okay, I'm going to start bringing up some photos here. And if I seem to be brushing through some things, I'm getting to the good stuff. So there's Patagonia. Here's Patagonia again. Now, I think back in 2017, I made a video about this area. Get that a little bigger. But you may have seen this. And these are trees down here. Well, the size of trees anyway. Okay. I hope it turns out great. These are the size of trees. So a little person would be like a very little speck on the tip of my cursor right there. So this is a very large area. And so help me, after I made the video, a lot of the bigger channels that were still around then stole this from me. I got maybe, I don't know, 30, 40,000 views on it, and some guy got almost 500,000. I'm not grousing, but it was a great video, and it's still out there. Just go through the feed. I don't have all the names. I can't remember all of them, but this is a great video. And oh, hey, we're going to discuss Ansel Adams tonight also. I don't know how long this is going to be, and I guess until people just get worn out. But just let me know if you get worn out. But this is a great picture. Let's continue. It's located kind of right down in there. I do a lot of studying on these sites. So if you see some strange things you haven't seen in the videos, well, they are pertinent. And I can't remember these guys' names, but I think they're involved. Oh my gosh, I'll think of it later. Let's continue. We got quite a bit to see here. One thing I used to do is I used to film with a camera, because the camera did a better job than the screenshots. It actually did a better focus on it. But I've learned through experience to just take screenshots, work on the screenshots to bring out the pictures, because the camera, you lose way too much. That's interesting. Keep going here. Okay, this is a great picture. If you're familiar with my videos, they I did a lot on Mount Kailash. This never made it to the Kailash. Oh, hang on a second. Where'd it go? Sorry. I'll get rid of that. Well, guys, hang on a second. I got too many things open here. So this is, you see that this looks like a big bird's head. Now this would be, I'm not sure if that's a normal sized person. Anyway, but that may be a very large person. And you can see the kind of Asian, kind of Chinese, Tibetan looking hat that he's wearing. Well, this is in Tibet. Well, it's part of China now, but you can see quite a few figures in this. And all throughout here. So let's keep looking here. Well, you know what? I had practiced all day on this. And you may see some weird stuff pop up, but we'll get to it. I was doing so good on this. I hope I'm not boring people to death. Okay, here. This is another shot of the Patagonian area, and this is a great big carving on the side of a mountain wall here, and that impressed me very much. There's better views of it on the video, but you can see that down here I take quite a few pictures as we go. Okay, I'm figuring this out now. Okay, there's more of that. Oh, that's Tiger. He's my buddy. And there's going to be some. We're getting to it. Okay, here. This is really good. Where do we want to start? Right here. Never made a video about this. Let me kind of size it up here. This is in the mountains of Nepal. And I hope you can see that pretty good. But you can see these large figures through here, and they look very humanoid. And so you have these great big ones, and you have like smaller, but they're still great big. And that, well, you see all these figures through here. Some may be carvings, some may be real, some may be alive. That's a cool picture. It's from the same area, but you can see all these weird little guys here. When I say little, but look at the little people standing on the great big guys. So there's these Tibet and Nepal. That's kind of a very active area. I've done a lot of work on Nepal, and if you look at Nepal, or look at the name Nepal, and you look at the name Nephilim, N-E-P, I don't know if that has any correlation, but it is interesting. You know, this is also Nepal here. You see that guy up there, and there's a figure sitting here. You know, Nepal is right next to India, and I just always thought it was curious that the British, you know, they like to go into countries and kind of take over, but they never went to Nepal. continue. More Patagonia. See, these are not in perfect order. Okay, so this is when I hit on Mount Kailash. This is one of my very favorites, and hopefully that'll be my first million-view video, even though things have been slowed down considerably. And I'm sure many of you, if you've watched the channel, you've seen this. Let's see here. But this was one of the first views I had. And you see all these, the name of it is, Mount Kailash, megalithic gods discovered. But you can see all these large figures throughout here. But what's really strange is, like here is the same area many years before. And it's not, and this is why I didn't, well, hang on, let me use this one. It's the exact same area. Let's see if that straightens out any. One more time, because I do want you to see this. Okay, it's the same area, but look how different it is. And look at, there's a lot more going on. There's many more figures in this area. So I don't know if they're real people. I call them people. I don't know if they're carvings. I don't know if it's some kind of artwork. I don't know if it's some sort of ethereal, misty being. But this, I mean, all through here. Tammy, that's the Tower of Babel. Yeah, I hear that a lot. And you know, it certainly fits the description. Bigfoot Tony, he had a good eye. Tell me how to see. Good. Terrier. Oh, bye, bunny. The giants are the product of the angels going into man. Well, yes, but I wonder if they're the only product of angels, or if giants came from other places as well. And here, we'll take a look at this. Now I get a lot. I have this video gained almost 4,000 people from India as subscribers, and I get a lot of people telling me that this is Lord Ganesha, and I'm just going to take their word for it. But I think it's an interesting picture. And if you look down here, you can see this very level ledge with all this carving on it. But there's a kind of a person down there, but that's not even a normal sized person. He'd be about half that tall. Let's see what this is. It's just another strange object out there at Mount Kailash. Oh, now this is... Hang on. You got to see this. All right. It's not that bad of a picture. There. Okay. So there's little Mr. Alien guy with something behind him. And you see all these spotty people standing next to him. That's at Kailash. I think if you went there, you wouldn't see these guys flat out, because I think they're right out of our visual perception. I don't think they're in another dimension. I think they're here, and I think they can interact with us, but we can't do the same thing with them. It's one way only. Let's see. More of that place, Patagonia. I worked on that a lot. Mount Kailash. Let's see what this is. This is Mount Kailash. You can see there's a lot of strange little, when I say little, they're not little, but there's a lot of strange beings in the world with us. These are not aberrations of the camera. This is not pixelation. You know, I would say cryptids are less evolved. Cryptids are almost, in a way, non-sentient, like these people are. That's my opinion only. Okay, here we go. Here, this is a good one. Let's try this. This is part of Kaibab Indian Reservation in northern Arizona. It's right on the Utah border. And this is a big cliff ledge area. And I'll tell you, this video has been put to a standstill. It's almost impossible to find unless you're on my site. But you can see. Now I contest. I say that these are flying vessels of some sort. And I know you see large people there, but they're extra large. This is almost the regular. Humans would be in something this size, but some humans figured out long ago that there's another whole, not just one race, but many races of different beings that we live together with on this, in this, whatever kind of place we are. Well, I almost said planet, but let's take a look at that. It's just I could really go to town on Kaibab. I would actually like to go there. You can almost drive up to this spot, but it's on Native American territory. I don't think they're going to let you up there. Dick says, I was close enough to shake a 10-foot werewolf's hand in a cornfield. Well, what happened, Dick? Did you get away? Yeah, and Fred, they're just out of our perception realm, that's for sure. And I would say humans have a very small perception realm, visually and mentally. Oh, look at these guys. Okay. Now, this is some sort of creature looking thing in the mountains of Tibet. But you see this guy here? It looks like he's holding a great big knife right there. And there's some other weird stuff. Maybe that's the guy that rides this thing around. Okay. You know, Salita, you say you wish you were on a bigger screen. I'm telling you, you see far better detail on smaller screens. I think a phone is the best thing to watch this stuff on. I have found out that I can find more stuff on my phone initially than I could ever find with my larger computer and techniques. This, I wish I was, let's see here. This is the Endeavour, or supposed to be the Endeavour. Ernest Shackleton, back in the early 1900s, took a giant, well, a big trip down to Antarctica, sorry. And long story short, the ship got stuck in the ice, and it finally fell apart, got crushed, and they had to take their lifeboats and journey back to civilization. Now, it's a really long story. It's a very interesting story. And, you know, I just wonder if how much of that is actually true, though. And I think it was almost the very first version of the Apollo missions. And the reason I say that is because they had a photographer with them. And obviously they did. So he took a lot of pictures, but they had to leave a lot of pictures because they were so heavy. They were those tin-type plates. So they only took a few back with them. Now, if you can see here, though, let me try to see if I can pump this up a little bit. There's a there's a lot of strange little figures in here, and that guy, I mean, he's half as big as a ship right there. And see this guy here, or maybe two guys. Let me try to make it just a little bit bigger. But you can see, I really think that's a model, and I think those are little clay figures or something that I think they tried to just, to me, somebody gets a big kick out of fooling the masses. And this is one of those pictures. Huh. This is interesting. I might have some more pictures of this area, but this is Shiprock in New Mexico. And it's a lot of people have suggested I look at this, and I have. And there's stuff there, as you can see. There's whatever this is, but you can. I work with these a lot, and I can tell there's a lot of figures. I call these conglomerates that comprise larger pictures and larger pictures and larger pictures, depending on how far or away or how close you are. But Shiprock's a very interesting site, and of course it's on Native American territory. And the Native Americans, they know something, or at least some of them know something that they're not telling us. And good for them, that they've got that right. And I'm originally, if it matters or not, I'm from Oklahoma originally, down by Tulsa. And so yeah, there was a lot of Native Americans live there. Obviously, Oklahoma in Cherokee means land of the red man. That's your Oklahoma fact of the day. Paris. Hi. It's good to see you, Paris. Thank you. Okay, so this is right around the corner from Kailash. And this is not uncommon. And I'm sure if you went to that part of the Himalayas, you'd see, well, not just that part. I would say in the large portion of the Himalayas, you would see a lot of strange carvings like this throughout the region. I do believe that these beings purposely park themselves above the tree line where oxygen is scarce, so very few people could ever just happen upon them. This is interesting. This is in China, and this is actually a satellite pic. Now, it's kind of hard to tell. Pump it up a little bit more. There you go. But here's some little Chinese town here. But you can see, and they're always kind of down in these ravines or ditches, these really great big people. You can see them. Oh, sorry. But you can see them here, and there's one there. Let's see here. Oh, there's a birdhouse I put up. There's Ernest Shackleton's ship, and let's see here. This is the man himself, Ernest Shackleton. He's a very interesting character.
This is the famous British explorer.
He made it out of
Ernest Shackleton.
Antarctica.
In 1914,
There you go. I actually had a film up. Anyway, he made it out of Antarctica, but he went back and he died on South Georgia Island. I don't think he died. He was like in his early 40s. I think he just skipped town because he had a girlfriend in America. Also, his brother was, I forgot his last name is Shackleton, but his brother was accused of stealing the Irish crown jewels. So there's a lot going on in the Shackleton family. So if you run into Shackletons, watch out. Okay, Nyalong. This is in Tibet, and this is kind of a stopover for people going from India through Tibet to Mount Kailash. But the first thing I noticed, let me see if I have a picture of it. No, I do, but you see this big rock? I mean, there's some tourist pictures from Nyalong, and there's a few videos about Nyalong, but no one ever talks about the big giant rock in the middle of town. It's like 4 stories high, and it's just there. And I made a video about that, and it's a very interesting one. I would suggest you watch it. But there's a lot of weird stuff in the town center here. Like, let's see here. I won't drag this out, but there's a lot of strange things, and it just goes. See that? Look at this guy, like a samurai or something back here, and make it a little bigger there. And see all this stuff going on back here. This is bizarre. If you're standing there in Nyalong, and I have. These pictures aren't necessarily in order, but this looks like a normal mountaintop, kind of just a snowy peak. But when you work with it just a little bit, that's what's really there. This kind of smokestack looking thing with all these strange looking creatures around it. And of course they have antennae. There's another version of it. But that's a really interesting picture. Thanks, Julie. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everyone's here. I don't know how long this will take. I mean, we'll go for a while. What do we have here? This is just more Nyalong. This was a thumbnail of one of the compilation videos, but that is right very near Nyalong, and you see these people. They're always hanging out pretty close by. They're very friendly. They like each other. They're not socially distancing. I'm not going there. Sorry. Okay, Kaibab. This is awesome. They took this picture out. This doesn't exist on any more satellite photos. But I've got a lot of these pictures. Now, this is not the best picture, but this is Kaibab. You see that he had this large kind of columnar rock pillar, right? And I would say it's a good 100 feet high, 10 stories high. But if you look up here, there's an entire village of strange little things going on. And let me try to pump it up a little bit. But you can start to see a little bit more. That's too much. Kind of see right there. There. See all these strange little figures. And it goes on for quite some ways. All through here, all through there. If you've seen any of my recent Skinwalker Ranch videos, I would guarantee you this place is very, I mean, it might be the same family. It's very similar to this. Eben, I'm glad you're here. And this, I probably have worked on this one area more than any area I've worked on combined. But this is the top of this pillar. Let me see here. And again, this is kind of bright, and I work with various shades, and sometimes you can see more with dark and others with light, but you can see there's quite a few strange, like this. A little bit larger. It's too large, but I think you can see there's a lot of strange things on this. It's not plant material. You got this big thing up here, and you got one of these races of individuals. They are artists, and so help me, I've never seen this guy. You see that? It's because I'm enlarging it. I'm making the pictures larger, which I usually don't do. But yeah, there's some very avid artists out there. One more look at this, because this was gone off of the internet. I can't believe I still have the video still up, but here it is. But it's not on any more satellite photos. They learn how to camo. They certainly do. Thanks, Stu. I like this one also. You know, and I can do a lot better on Kaibab. She's on my desk. Let's look at this. Yeah, it's just one of those pictures. That is near Kaibab. You see all these large humanoid-looking figures. Okay. Admiral Byrd and his first trip to the Antarctica back in the 1920s. And these pictures are from the 1920s. Let me see what I can find here. Well, like this. This is a good picture, and I contend that is some type of spaceship, because the more I run into these, and this when I first saw this, I'm like, well, is this some weird animal or something? They always, a very common thing they do is they give their ships this kind of animalistic look to them. And I wonder, in some situations, if that wasn't how dragons and monsters, flying monsters, came into being, into mythology. But they're here. They are definitely here. And I mean, I'm working on, what is it, Skinwalker Ranch now. Skinwalker is, I've said this more than once, it's just not the gift that keeps on giving. It's not just a treasure trove. It's the holy grail of this. Thanks, Stu. Anyway, Kolja. Hi, Kolja. How long have you been here? I see you now. Sorry. Kolja. Kolja's in Germany, everybody. And so hi, Kolja. He's my Deutschlander Freundin. I hope I didn't sound too funny. But I'm glad you're here, Kolja. Yeah, I was stationed in the Army for a few years outside of Nuremberg. Those are the good old days. So we'll continue. This is a great picture. And this is taken from a plane. I don't know how high up, but that's got to be pretty big if you can see that from, I don't know, a couple thousand, 3,000 feet maybe. Yeah, Admiral Byrd is really interesting. He was also the youngest admiral in U.S. history. He got the Medal of Honor very young. He was one of the guys in the know. I mean, if there's a lot about him on the internet. Here's an Admiral Byrd picture. This is awesome. But you see this individual. Well, he'd have to be a couple thousand feet high. This is up in the mountains. A little bit bigger. Yep, there he is. I bet he's friendly. I'd like to run into that on your first trip down south. Yeah, that's stuff I work on. That's Hill's Hole. There's better Hill's Hole stuff. Here we are back to Nyalom. Here's a better picture. A lot of weird things going on. Oh, I'll point this out also. So there's the great big rock of Nyalom. And I always, I said in the video, and I'm saying it now, they should have billboards that say, come see the big rock in Nyalom, and they could sell souvenirs and pictures and soda, all that kind of stuff. But you see all these little strange creatures over here on this side? Look at this guy here. I mean, this is totally bizarre. And the thing is, if you look at old pictures of Nyalom, it's not that many buildings around it. But now they keep building more and more buildings around it to where you can't even see it. And they're doing that for a reason. But you see there's a big guy back here, all this stuff going on over here, whoever this guy is. Yeah, see this is a fun picture. A little bit bigger. I hope you can see that. It looks okay. I'm actually working off of 2 screens, and it's very helpful when you're doing a job like this one. Hey, Kulja. Thank you. Because, Kulja, I got your back. I stopped to read for a few minutes. Roger, do you think the guy that runs the 411 books is a gatekeeper? Well, let me tell you, Eben Hawken. Let's take a break for a second about David Paulides. I admire David Paulides. I mean, he's very well known by I guess people like us who are interested in these things. But he's written. I've got one of his books right here from the Missing 411 series for the people out west, and you read these stories and they're saddening, they're depressing. It really makes you think about, well, what is happening, and I want to be as level-headed about this as possible. There are some people who get, I guess, eaten by a bear, or they fall down a big hole and they're gone forever. There's no trace of them. But that's I don't think that's the largest percentage. There's absolutely something going on out there, and I think these pictures show some of the suspects. But I've had a lot of people tell me I need to contact David Paulides. I'm like, well, because I know if you're not familiar with this type of work, it's you look kind of it. I know you look like a crackpot, and I'm okay with that. So, a good friend of mine that I really admire, and I take his advice on these things, he said the same thing. And the thing that's going to, I think, be the breakthrough for him, at least on pictures like this. I'm not the only one who does, photo work like this. But I sent him, it wasn't a long letter, probably about a paragraph. And I said, I don't want anything from anybody. I just want to be of service on this. I mean, if you're interested, I'd be happy to give you all the information in the world. And it was a very honest and kind of impassioned letter. And A couple days later, I get a response back from Can-Am email. I'm like, oh, good. I got someone replied. And here was the reply. Thanks. And that was it. I'm like, okay, well, at least they said thank you. So I thought about being a smarty pants and writing something back, but you know, the offer is open there, David. It really is. And I think at some point, when you finally figure out that you've exhausted every possibility out there, the only and this is the only thing remaining, well, isn't that how the method of deduction works? You deduct everything that's not possible until you're left with what's possible. Now, if you can't see these people, well, you know what? You can't see a germ either, and they kill people. I'm not saying that these are really big germs that are just outside of our visual range. And we are too haughty. Humans are too prideful. We're good at stuff, but we're not the only game in town. That's for sure. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of hard to bring up, but this is more Antarctica. Okay, good. You know, the Southwest, especially around, well, okay, here we go. Grand Canyon, down to Hoover Dam, up to Las Vegas, north of Las Vegas, that's Area 51, Zion National Park, all throughout there. These are major areas for these folks, and it's very close to Skinwalker Ranch, by the way. So that's a great picture right there. But you can see that's just not rocks, and I get that all the time. That's right. I mean, people who just watch this dismissively, they're like, "No, that's rocks," and they just walk on. Okay, and I'm used to that also. Oh, yeah, Fred, they do hide this info. But what really surprises me, and I don't want to sound like I'm patting myself on the back or anything, but they haven't taken me down, and I expect I expect them to do so. However, I stay well within the terms put out by all the platforms, and I don't diverge. I don't go off in other directions. I don't make opinions that may be offensive to other people. I think you know what I'm talking about. I stick to what I tend to my knitting, and that's all I do. But I think somebody out there kind of appreciates that I show them where all the weak spots are in their system, because once I put it out, in a couple of days it's gone. So you're welcome out there, powers that be. There we go. But you see, well, we get it a little bit bigger here. But like that, like this, that's a pipe. That's not a, and maybe that's a fuel pipe. It's a water pipe. But you can almost see like there's a kind of a flexible hose coming off the pipe, which it's either water or some type of fuel. I'm amazed how good these look right now. Actually, this is a good way to display this stuff. But yeah, and you got these big guys back here. Someone was saying that the three-cornered hats, they're called tricorn hats, they figure prominently in these videos. And I think maybe some of it is, the artists out there, the art workers who do a lot of the artwork. I think they go way, way, way back, and I think early explorers wore these hats, and they just kind of copy what they see. This is good. This is right next to this area here, but it's up on top. I hope you can see those guys. We've got this guy. Hang on a second. Why is he all... What's going on here? Here we go. Yeah, that's better. But yeah, you can kind of see these cylindrical-looking people. There's another guy with antennas right there. And the things that are supposed to look like shrubbery from high up, well, these look like some type of little beings all around there. Yeah, Ray, we are their food. Ray says we're their food. A friend of mine says we are property. Maybe we really are. Well, check this out. Oh, this is cool. Check out this guy. Can you see this guy? He's a pretty big guy. Because he's probably in the 30-40 foot range. There's his little friends all around. He's on the intraterrestrial basketball team, but there's another one right over here. Just left the dark area, very obvious. Tartaria. Okay. Oh, anyway, moving on. Oh, look at this guy. Don't freak out. There's an alien. I found that. You're welcome. And I work with lots of different colorations to see if I can bring out details. And it certainly does bring out details. I mean, look at all that. Yeah. Cole just says, since he's learned to see, it's a door you can't close again. What's really odd here lately, it's like my ability to see this stuff has increased significantly. And it may be I'm just practiced at it and I know what to look for, but I can see stuff now that just glaringly sticks out when nobody else would see it. Seeklight, Joseph McDonald, the Lost Codex of the Bible, they talk about the archons, milk like cows absorbing our Lelouch, yeah. Even Hawking, amazing. It is amazing, actually. When I first started doing this, and I know people who start doing this also. And the common reaction is I've got to do something. I got to tell somebody this. What are we going to do? And you kind of run around in circles with your hand in the air, going, "There's something going on." And well, let's see. I started doing this in July of 2013. So I just hit 8 years now, and it's been a fun little journey, but it's been a progressive one. And when you find stuff like this, see, there's a guy almost like in a Napoleon hat here. You got this going on. This, they're a very, and when I say alien, they're different. They're not human. How's that? So their entire process. This may be the most normal picture in the world to them. This may be just a picture. I mean, like a picture of people walking down the street. That's what this may be to them. Then again, who knows? They know. Okay, just indulge me for a moment here. Because that... Hang on. But this guy here, he's one of those conglomerates where you have more than one thing making up the entire picture. But there it is. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, there's more nylon. Nyalom, the big rock in Nyalom. Oh, this is good. This is people you don't normally see in Nyalom. Here we are. But they're behind some of the buildings there in Nyalom. So, you know, if I were going through Nyalom, I would just keep going until I got to the next town. You probably don't want to stay overnight in Nyalom. That's a fun picture. Let's see if there's anybody else out here. Yeah, that's a good one here. You can see quite a few figures running around through town, and they're all like in the 50-foot range at least. Oh, there's yours truly. That's what sort of thumbnail pick. And more of Kailash. Here's a good picture. Here's a good. You know, I kind of sorry I haven't shown these yet, but you're the first to see them. But look at that. What's going on there? That's incredible. You know where that big guy with the Napoleon hat, we're in the hillside there? He's right up on top. Yeah, and every time I see this guy, I think that maybe he's the mailbox. And she's going to go mail a letter, and that's her space dog, even though he may not be from space. But that just cracks me up. Yeah, Hill's Hole, I'm sure we'll run into that in a minute, but this is so common. It's very common around that entire area, especially on Native American land. And, well, okay. Let's see. Did we see this one? No, we didn't see this one. Okay, yeah, check that one out. You got all these guys here. Then look at these. Look at this guy. I mean, he looks like some sort of, well, really big monster-looking guy. And there's a person there, and got all these figures throughout here. You know, something I say often is figures throughout, but that's what they are. Yeah, we'll stop and read for a second. It's like a transformer. It is. Kachina looking. Yeah, and that's why, I mean, where do you think Kachina dolls come from? They probably saw pictures of these guys. Let's see here. One more look. Because these are really, yeah, like what the heck, everybody? See this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, great big guy here, and you know it comes up a lot on why do they look so cartoonish, and I don't know. Maybe that's just how through the lens, it's just how it interprets these beings. I don't know. Yeah, they have probably made it to where we are so limited spiritually to even comprehend beyond our existence in this realm. I could not agree more. And if you see what's going on and how they really are trying to get God erased from existence, and we haven't seen the end of that yet. But to separate people from their spiritual selves, I mean, people are threefold beings. You got mind, body, and soul. And if you get rid of the soul part, you're very easy to control. And wow, isn't that great? Isn't that a great picture? I mean, you see those little striations, the little stripes. That's because I'm too close with the camera, but I try. Okay, keep on going here. Let's see, we're almost at an hour. And more Nyalom. Okay, this is really cool. Okay, Admiral Byrd photo. That's a good photo, and that's off of some university's website. All the Admiral Byrd photos, And when you look at the photo, it's like a tenth this size. It's like billfold size. And anyway, I was reading. I think this is totally fake. If it's not, well, we're in trouble. But if you saw a recent video, you're going to see where the thumbnail came from on it. But you can see, like, this guy, he looks just like a cardboard cutout holding a stick. That's just a silhouette of something. But you see the little doggy down here, he looks kind of fake. And I just said things look cartoony, so maybe it's all real. Okay, so this is a picture from the early or mid 1920s. But let's take a look. A little bit of coloration on it. It starts to bring out even more in the photo. Let me enlarge this a little bit. Yeah, you can see you got a figure here, down here. Here's the dog again. I guess that's supposed to look like a dog sled. What the hell is that thing? I don't know what that is. But then you got like this big Bowser-looking dog up here, and he'd be like, I don't know, a giant dog of some sort. Okay, but look up here. What is that? What is that? Let's take a look at what that is. And it's this stuff. And it's all these figures. I don't know if they're really real or just some sort of artwork. I contend they may be artwork. Is that the wall? Is that the edge of the flat Earth? Look at that. And you know, and I often run into stuff where you have kind of these Dracula-looking guys, and so. Oh yeah, you can look at some of this stuff. I run into these mosaics, I guess you could call it, that it would take years to go through everything and catalog it. Do you want me to make the picture bigger, Deborah? Is that what you're saying? I can do that. Right. Once you make it too big, though, you lose cohesion. You get kind of pixely. That's a good picture, though. Obviously, that's something. I've often thought, if I could really clean these things up or even kind of make my own version of it, I could be like the greatest bizarre artist in the world. Because nobody's going to dream this stuff up. Yeah, a lot of people are asleep. And you know what? I try to show people. It's so I depend on you guys. I really do. You're my true outlet. Because I mean, there's some people around here who appreciate what I do, but I think if you're all kind of like me. It's not a big community all around us. The world's very mysterious. Kolja, I see it and I know it too, but my community is no kidding. Sasquatch, you know, Kolja, the Germans, they figured out a lot of stuff, especially back in the 30s and 40s. It's an office. Oh, that was from a. That was the beginning of a video. You can't handle the truth. More of. Oh, this is great. This is great. That's Kailash up here, but here's Zion National Park. I may have to describe this a little bit. But this is on the side of a great big canyon wall. And if you kind of... Let me make that a little bit bigger. But it was just as clear as day. And I think this is a piece of artwork. Anyway, you see this guy here? He's got his hands out. And he's holding on to this creature's head. So I don't know if this is a kind of a tender moment or what, but that's definitely in Zion National Park. And let's go there for a second. Not Zion, but talk about Zion. This is also. Oh, this is Zion here. Zion. Oh, it's not a good picture. Hang on a second. Zion is, I think, one of the ground zero for these guys. That's a great picture. Yeah. But I kind of look at this. A lot of people come up missing from the Grand Canyon, from Yosemite National Park, from other larger national parks near Zion National Park. And I'm kind of the opinion that maybe they're taken here to an area. Underground, of course. Oh, I got a ton on the Grand Canyon. Yeah, this is in Idaho of all places. But I'll take it down a little bit. But you can see what in my opinion, are very eroded, worn figures on the mountainside here. And I think there's a lot of that around. And in one of the videos I brought up, and a lot of people surprisingly agreed, you see all the rubble, like in the Grand Canyon National Park, or I think they just blown this stuff off the side of the mountain. What is that? I don't know what this is. Hang on a second. It looks like a bear looking at a window or something. Well, there it is. Linda. Hi, Linda. Okay. Oh, that's Mr. Burns, and that's Ronald McDonald. Yeah. We'll pass that. There's more Antarctica. And I did a video on this guy here, but this is the top of a pretty large peak. But you can see there's a great big head up there. And there's a lot of other carvings all throughout it. But this was like a Norwegian mission or survey that went down to Antarctica like in the 1950s. So, see that, that. Are you into philosophical music? I don't know. What is philosophical music? Hi, Michael Burns. Robert Smith. Once you create matter, intelligent matter out of thin air, you are no longer a brain but a god. Okay. Okay. There you go. And this is another whole category, completely separate from everything we just looked at. And I've got a lot on this, and I'm going to start showing more on this. You know what this is? I mean, you can see some really bizarre, crazy features. Kind of, I don't know how else to describe it. This, after quite a bit of work, and I did a lot of work on this thing, it's a scene off of the movie The Truman Show. And what is really, I guess, disheartening for me, the more I look into this, it's like every TV show you've ever loved, every movie you've ever loved, this stuff is stuck in there. And why is it stuck in there? And here's the theory, because I've given a lot of thought about this. it's a chaotic kind of scene. It's a kind of scary looking scene. It's monstery looking. What I'm saying is somehow subconsciously, this puts a person's mind off kilter. And the more you look at it, the more you watch this stuff, the more off kilter you get. Look at the world today. I really do believe, yeah, they say someone invented TV. Yeah, you can probably go back and find the people who invented it, sure, but they got the technology from somebody. No one dreamt this up. No human dreamt this up. TV was meant to control people. I stopped watching TV in 2014. And my life changed, and that's why I'm so good at doing this, is one of the reasons, because these people who watch these 60-inch HD clearer than real vision TVs are they're manipulated, but also their vision and perceptive abilities are being degraded considerably. So you just don't see it. I can show something to people on which it's plain as day. They're like, I don't see anything. Well, okay. Programming, exactly. Tele-live vision, exactly. And that's just a whole lot more of it. But, well, let's look at one more. But I also think they try to tell us that there's a truth to what they're telling us. But you can see something going on here, but that's a little hard to work with. All right. Oh, friend of mine's birthday. This is Nyalong. Yeah, it's Nyalong again. And check this out. This is the top of a building in Nyalong. Yeah. But it's just, what are these things? Are they helicopters? Are they giant dragonflies? And we'll get to dragonflies here in the next few weeks, but yeah, I found the ships that look like dragonflies. I'm reading. You like the Obama one? Yeah, he finds his alien helpers. Yeah, Magic Wand is made out of Hollywood. Yeah, I did one video on Hollywood that got a lot of good views on it. And it's one of those disturbing ones also. And again, I got to preface everything. This is my opinion. I don't want to sound like I absolutely know something, but it certainly looks like that's just I don't know what to call it, a den of evil, but it is a hub for evil. Hollywood is, and I know I'm out in the Midwest with all the other country bumpkins, I guess, but I think when you're in that environment, I mean, you can if you live in the Midwest like we do here, people on the coasts are almost a different species in their thought patterns, because it's so different from our way of thinking and our way of life. And you try to be understanding, you try to be open-minded. Anybody out here from California? I got some good subscribers from California, by the way. My smart nephew, he's a scientist out there in San Francisco. Oh, okay. That's not a good picture, but that's Busheen Island. What are these? This is just a lot more of Nyalong, and I hope you guys can see that I do a lot of I take a lot of pictures. What is this? That's kind of why I'm looking. Yeah. You can see why some of them don't make the cut. Willie Wayne, where's the Dusty Valley? That's pretty good. This is actually, I remember this. This is kind of a house up on a hill outside of Nyalong, but you got to. It's got this wall around it, and you see this large kind of temple-looking thing here. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out this system for the live stream. Yeah, some of these are really complicated. I mean, I can see stuff in the camera, and sometimes it comes out like this stuff, and it's really not very usable. Oh, this is a strange picture. Okay. You gotta use your inner eyes here, folks. But I think you can start to see it. That this is a river in China. Okay, and you can see what appear to be, well, unclothed people jumping around, bathing around in the river. But these aren't normal human-sized people. I would say they're probably in the 30-foot range. And then you got these two really weird-looking characters here and here. Let me try to pump this up some. Yeah, this guy here and this guy here. I don't know if what they're doing to this guy, but you see his arms are up in the air. And, you know, they're all not human or totally human, but there's something strange going on here. So I just wonder, and I'm not just because of this picture, but things I've seen. I will get to Hoover Dam in depth at some point. But do they experiment on people, these missing people? And they turn them into some sort of these monstrous hybrid things. Because some of these people we're looking at actually had been human at one time. I don't want to get too far off on a tangent here, but I think it's possible. I don't think anything's impossible. I mean, when you see this stuff. Let's see. This is right next to that area. Again, that's right by that river we were just looking at. But you can see this large figure in the mountainside here. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Is everybody still doing good here? Kolja, ask a bird or dog. What am I supposed to ask a bird or dog? Oh, our frequencies. Yeah, absolutely. This is, take a look at this here. Oh. Yeah. This is in Nepal. These large characters here. I have no... that might be some type of vessel, but it certainly looks like a living thing to me. It's too fleshy looking. It's too shiny. See these guys over here, kind of all surprised looking. Green's the big color they use to cover the stuff up with. Roger, Hollywood's a spell hub. Thanks for all the great work. It is a spell hub. Okay. Look at this for a second. Oh, I remember this guy. All right. This is way up in the mountains in China somewhere. I've got the coordinates, but you can kind of see there's some weird characters going on here, but that's not Oh, but there he is. There he is. I just found him. There's the Yeti. There he is, right there. I've meant to do a video on him for years. And, well, there he is. You saw him. Here is a Yeti. His wife is, his wife, that's Ned. Neddy, the Yeti. And he's married to Betty, the Yeti. Yeah, San Francisco. I used to want to, I've never visited there. But I have no desire to visit there nowadays. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is all Nepal. We'll just take a quick look at this one. And, hang on. Why isn't this working? There. But you see all these figures throughout here. They're humanoid, but this one's almost like it's dancing. Here's like a goat next to them. But I hope you can see that, because yeah, I don't know what that is. It almost has, sometimes it has a very hell-like appearance, and it could be just through our camera. They're having the best time in the world, and we just think it's some sort of eternal damnation, but who knows? Oh, Phil Snyder. You know, if you've seen Phil Snyder, I don't take this wrong. I just don't believe the guy. I think he just tried to cash in on it. He doesn't seem. He just doesn't seem like he's sincere. He's just up there kind of reciting a script. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was the guy who went into one of these dumbs, a deep underground military base, and had to fight aliens. He shot some, and he saw people being experimented on. So you know what? Here I am saying they experiment on people, and he's saying they do too. So maybe I'm sorry, Phil, if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is, I called this the mosh pit. But yeah, look at these guys. Look at him. I'd like to run into him in a dark alley. But like, look at this. Okay, and these are hats. They really are. And they wear, oh, wrong way. This. It's almost like a Dr. Seuss Cat in the hat. But you see, there's a guy wearing it. There's a lot of people wearing those. Let's see here. Oh, there's Tiger. Okay. These are not the best, but early on, let me find a decent one. Oh, well, we'll work with that one. This is a really far off shot of the shoreline of Bushin Island, which is the furthest, the southernmost island of the Falklands. And it's about 60 miles off the main island. And one of my earlier videos, I did a couple on the Falkland Islands about Bushin Island. And yeah, that was my very first foray into like what's going on here. There really some strange stuff. And I wonder if this guy's on here or not. But a guy named Matt, he has a UFO channel that I'm actually going to show some of his work in a future video. But he is running the same thing, but the letter S, all the time, today, every day. I mean, yeah, I really literally today, S's are like predominant in almost all these pictures. And the only, I guess, idea, it's not a theory, but I think it's like their official symbol of whoever this group is. S is their symbol. I was just thinking. Okay, this is interesting. You know, this is when I first figured out I could find stuff on people's head, and I was practicing on my own head here. What is this? Ooh, oh yeah, this is... Okay. Need I say more? Look at that. That's a great picture. Look at this guy here and this guy here. These two are the main characters. There's a good one back here. Yeah, that's a really good picture. Roger, did you notice you like to wear sunglasses? Well, I do, but I think I always have, though. Let's see. I'm getting a notification here. The military has like 5 or 6 different types of food 5G jab. Lots of S on pics from... Yeah, there definitely are lots of pics with S's on Mars. And I've done a lot of Mars... I do a lot of Mars to this day. I just don't put it out very much. You got to watch Phil Snyder's presentation. You must have forgotten to put on the... Oh my God, someone... You know, I like it when people judge me, you know, but I think they're responding to some video right there. We all see it. Check out that party. Yeah, that's a great party, isn't it? Okay. He had a map of the entire underground tunnel. Okay. Tim Phillips not taking... You know, all I'm going to say about that is it's a free country, and everybody should be able to do whatever they please, and especially in that category. There. That's as far as I'm getting out of that one. Okay. A couple more here. Now I'll show you a few more. I'll go to a kind of a current... Oh, this is a good one. I forgot about this guy. Oh, well, 2 more on this one. Yeah. Look at her. I call it a her, but it looks like a her. But you see all these guys? That's a really good picture. And that's a good picture of something you don't see every day. And in one way, it does look like they're having a good time. And, okay, I spoke about the striations. Those red lines aren't caused by me being too close, because I've worked on those. And that's a very different look. But, yeah, you got this guy here. What else? You got her right there. Got these. Look at this guy. He's kind of creepy. See this? Are those antennas? I bet he gets great reception, or whatever he does. Paul Mayfield, true or not, I have no idea, but they have info on how to control them, and CDC has something about them also. Okay. Discovering Sasquatch. There you go. Yes, Discovering Sasquatch. Why don't you make a channel? Maybe you do have one. This message is held for reviews. Okay. Tartaria Old World. Subscribe. Oh, something else I stopped doing fairly the past year. This is a good picture. This is the same area as these guys. Now this is kind of a close-up, but this guy, and this, I wonder if I have it here. Hang on a second. They're having a parade, is what it appears to be, and he's almost on this chariot-looking thing, and you can see he looks kind of like a king or something. But yeah, that's a very good, clear picture. And well, anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff here in Nepal. I should do more on that. Yeah, I call those the clown guys, but there they are. I have people who actually accuse me of making this stuff up on what is it? On the computer with all of my great animation skills. Okay. Let's go. I want to show you something interesting here for a second. Is this it? Yeah. Downloads. This. Okay. Now, this is an interesting picture, right? It's the Harvard freshman rowing crew from 1934. And because I was working on this guy's dad, this whole chain of pictures came up. And I will do a video about this because it's not very clear right now. But this guy here is Franklin Roosevelt Jr. His dad is Franklin Roosevelt, and he was president at the time. So I guess he had a pretty good life at school. And but this guy here, I don't know if I can pump it up enough. I can a little bit. But there's something crawling on this guy's face, and he doesn't know it. But there's something crawling on a lot of these guys. And this goes way back. So, and like up here, you see, what's this giant thing playing a horn up there? Okay. How do I get out of here? Okay. This is an interesting picture, and I won't go into great depth on it. But I just pulled this one up today. This is from a Star Trek episode. And it's the episode where Data meets the guy who created him. It's this really old scientist. Now, I have a lot better pictures of this, but again, the stuff they put in TV shows, it's all over this thing. But they make it look really innocent, like, oh, look, there's some old dinosaurs and there's like a volcano. Oh no, wait, there's a lot more in this picture. Okay, remember these guys? Okay, if you, I'm decrepitly old. Okay, and I'm not ashamed to say I'm 57 years old. So I started doing this channel when I was in my 40s, by the way. But this was a popular show when I was a kid. Hogan's Heroes. This guy here, that's Colonel Klink. You gotta love Colonel Klink. The premise is this is a prisoner of war camp, and they have Allied prisoners in this camp, and this is Colonel Hogan. He's an American colonel, and he's the senior prisoner of war, and he's having dinner here with Colonel Klink. Now, let me get out of here. I forgot how to do this. If you saw that I had posted yesterday this picture here, this is Colonel Hogan's hat, and it's very well known in the series. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself because I don't have a picture. I don't think I have. Hang on a second. I probably do. Hang on a second. No, I don't. Where are they? Well, that's okay. That's his hat. Let's go back to that. But his regular cap is a crest with eagles with wings and all that. That's not a crest with eagles and wings. That's the standard stuff we see in all these pictures. And I will do a video about Hogan's Heroes, but it is rife with all of these images, just like many of the TV shows. And I'm going to almost go on a limb and say all of them. So, okay, I'll show you one other little thing here. This is part of the set, like kind of a dinner set on the table. It's kind of hard to see the stuff because I haven't worked on these pictures very much, but you can see you got these little strange characters all throughout here. So you'll see more of that in an upcoming video. You saw it here first. Oh. Hang on a second. Well, I lost everybody. Okay. There. Oh. I hope I don't turn off the computer. Okay. There you are. Hang on. You certainly have an eye for these things. Yeah. You develop it over a while. Okay, I'm just kind of reading here. All right. I said I'd do this if, and I don't know how well this will work. And this is not my regular phone number, but here we go. I'm going to write it. There it is. 816-838-6431. We'll see if anybody calls. And we'll see it, and keep it clean and have something thought out to say. I'm ready. Oh, I didn't post it. There it is. All right. There we go. We'll see how this works. I got my phone out. I practiced on this earlier, so hopefully this will work. Well, I don't think Fred's calling. All right. Oh well. If you don't want to call, that's fine. We'll go a little longer. Uh-oh. I just ran everybody off. Okay. Uh-oh. Here we go. I got a caller. Hang on. Hello, caller. This is Roger in Kansas City. Who's this?
Hey, Roger, this is Sean.
Hi, Sean. Hey.
Sean.
Hey, first off, I want to know if anybody can tell me, can you hear Sean all right on the speaker here? Will someone say yes or no? Say something, Sean.
How you guys doing?
I think they can hear you.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I wanted to say something about those images that you see in those rocks and canyons and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
I read Sanskrit books, like translated in English. So I've been reading Sanskrit books for like 10 years now.
Right.
And I know a lot about the Vedic literature and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
A lot of what I read says that there's sages who lived, thousands of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they would meditate for like hundreds to thousands of years without any interruption at all.
Uh-huh.
And it gets to a point where they don't even really need oxygen to breathe.
Right.
They're just completely renounced from the world, just sitting in one spot or standing on one leg, just meditating. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it says that the earth basically grows around them, and they end up fusing with the rock.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard this one.
Yeah, actually, when I was looking at some of your pictures, I was how you said they were happy and looked like some of them were dancing.
Uh-huh.
Like that's exactly what they pretty much do in the spiritual realm after they fuse one with the material world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're in a state of ecstasy.
Well, no, I think you got a great point there, and I also think that all of this meditation they do, and I'm very familiar with what you're talking about, like, is uninterrupted for eons. But it's, I also think that maybe they very possibly, and I've thought this because of, like the Buddhist monks in Tibet, like the Dalai Lama, before they were run off. I wonder how much of that meditation actually created some of these, or manifested these thought forms into reality. And yeah, I think there's a good possibility. There's a combo of those two things.
Yeah, I definitely believe that too. Like, a lot of their power and thought was able to create some of these megalithic structures that we see around the world too. You know what I mean? Like Stonehenge and pyramids and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff they could levitate with their minds. You know?
Yeah.
And but definitely on the picture thing, like when I was seeing like how you were capturing like it looks like bodies in the rocks, immediately that came to my mind was like these are sages who are still there, probably just not caring about anything going on around them, and they're just in the rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Well, Sean, thank you for calling, and let's see if anybody else gives us a call. And I really appreciate it. Sean, you're the first caller ever on the Roger in Kansas City show, and I hope you call again in future shows.
All right.
Well, hey, what part of Florida are you in?
I appreciate your channel, man. Thank you.
Hey, Sean?
Yeah.
What part of Florida you live in?
I live in Palm Bay. I was asking you about the philosophical music and stuff.
Oh, you're the guy. Okay. All right. Well, hey.
Write about stuff like
if you go to one of my more recent videos and just put it in the comments section, I'll get the message.
Okay, cool.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thanks for calling.
All right, Roger.
All right, bye-bye. Hey, that actually went way better than I ever anticipated. Okay, thank you, Sean. I really appreciate it. I that was kind of fun. Okay, we're gonna. And you know how I hooked the camera, my phone up to the computer and all this? Here's what I'm doing. I'm holding the phone up to the speaker, to the microphone. That's all, and it works great. Okay. Now this is another thing in India here, but I just always kind of thought this looked like what is it? Millennium Falcon on Star Wars. Oh, and here's one of my favorites. All of the ships in Himalayas. And I have a lot more of these, but this is by far one of my favorites because I've guesstimated them at about 400 feet long. You can see figures standing on top. Now there's actually two. There's one here, and there might be three, but they're side by side. There's one here, and maybe one over here. You can almost see that there's a windshield and kind of like a wing / little almost penguin looking fin. And I really do believe these things can fly and go underwater. Oh, we got a call coming in from Texas. Here we go. Hello, caller. This is Roger in Kansas City. Hey, who's calling?
This is Victoria from Texas.
Hi, Victoria. Hey, Victoria, you've written me before, right?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I remember you. Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit behind on the live feed, but I just had a question, if that's okay.
Oh, hey, knock yourself out. I'm glad you called. Welcome.
Okay, well, I was just wondering, how did you get started in all of this? How did you first see?
By golly,
seeing these things?
I'm glad you brought that up because I had this out and I forgot all about it. Here we go. And please stay on the line. Can you see you're watching your computer, right?
Yes, but I think I'm behind. Oh my gosh, I hear my annoying voice. I'm so sorry, y'all.
No, you sound great. Okay, now see this guy here, Michael Witter. I get this a lot. People say, "Thanks, you really shown me, how the things are different. I can see things differently now." The whole thing. I wasn't a total skeptic, but I was skeptical before I was converted to who I am now. But I really did try to debunk a lot of this stuff. And I started with the Mars stuff because that was really popular back in about 2012 and 13 when Curiosity rover was roaming around up there on Mars. But one channel, this guy's channel right here, and he hasn't made videos in years. I think 8 years ago was his last video. Well, maybe 6. But I watched his channel, and to the people who say thanks to me, I say thank you to Michael. And I think he's from Australia. And I've written him before, but I never heard back from him. But I just wanted to show everybody that is definitely one of the guys who really convinced me. And if you're trying to call in, keep calling. It's but I only have one line, so I know I'm missing a call right now from California. But
I'm so sorry.
No. You're in line. So yeah. So how did I get into it? Yeah, and also when I started, you see, I use a particular method nobody else uses, and I think you can see that I can show things that most people don't, or cannot. And I kind of just, it was really because I wasn't very technologically adept. I ran into this system, and it really turned out to be the best system ever. And it's kind of convoluted, but just it really does bring out things that we wouldn't normally see, and it surprises people a lot. Anyway, so I started seeing more and more of this stuff, and it's so consistent. If it was just like here and there randomly once in a while, but no, it's consistently there all the time. And you know, I practice here in town. I mean, I will take a picture, just a random shot, like I did just the other day. I was in a parking lot, and I just took a picture down the street, and I see a lot of these characters I see in these videos, but they're not nearly at the density they are like at Skinwalker Ranch or Kaibab Reservation, things like that. But they're very common, and I don't think I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I don't think people should be overly worried about this stuff. If they wanted to get us, I'm sure they could, but they haven't. And there's always a possibility they're not aware of us at all, but I think they are.
Well, and that's the thing that grabbed my attention was I've been following your channel for a few years now, and that's the thing is you know, at first when I first found your channel, I, was questioning it, and I think I put that in the comments, and then as I watched your channel, they were consistent, and you really did show these entities, and that totally debunks the pareidolia, however you say that.
Right, pareidolia. That's a great word.
Just like your comments.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So.
Well, I wanted to know that. Thank you for taking the time to take my phone call.
No, Victoria, I'm glad you called. It's not like I got lines backing up. I only have one line anyway. So.
Okay.
Okay, Victoria.
Okay, well,
hey, it was great to talk to you. You sound just like you write. So, okay. Hey, have a great night.
You too.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Nice to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. That was exciting. How do I do this? Oh, I got to go back to my live stream here. We've been on, how long have we been on? Oh my gosh, over 2 hours. I think we've had a good time. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I got to bring my pictures back up. I can't find them. Oh my gosh. I've lost a whole folder here. Well, that's okay. Here we go. So anyway, California, if you want to try one more time, the line is open. This is really cool here. You see this guy? Let's see. Okay, it's not the greatest picture, but let's try this one also. Looks like an S, right? You're outside of a window. This, Yeah, my email, and it's on a lot of my videos. My email, someone just asked, is Roger, is ROGERINKC, Roger inKC 1. Roger inKC, the number 1, all together. Roger inKC 1 at gmail.com. I'm glad you like it, Stu. Oh, Crypto Squirrel. Hi, Crypto. Portia. Hi. Okay, so anyway, you see these guys here. I'll show you one more. So you got that great big headed guy. You got this little guy here. Okay, so this is a TV show, and they're looking through a window, and it's from the West Wing, and they're looking into the Oval Office windows. I'm like, what the hell is that? And well, because it goes back to the Hollywood thing. It really does. These are their masters, I suppose. And these may not be actual beings. They could be, for all I know. But this is some type of tribute they pay, and they have to show them on their TV shows and movies. And we don't see this, but I think we do subconsciously. And the good thing is, I do believe this, once you bring it to the conscious level, it's totally neutralized. That's a good picture. That's more Bushin Island. We can take another call if anybody wants to call. Let's see here. I think you can see some of these pictures pretty good on your screen, even just as this. That's more of Nepal here. Wow. I don't want to burn everybody up here. Here's my cat. Uh-oh. It's California. California finally made it. Hi, this is Roger in Kansas City. Thanks for...
Oh, I got through. Hey, Roger. I'm so glad that you actually say hi to you. I've been following you since the beginning.
Who's this?
I'm sorry, Joseph with Seek Life.
Oh, Joseph. Hi. Yes, I'm very familiar with you. Yeah.
I just love your work, and
I've seen your work.
Humor too, and you got to have a sense of humor in what we're doing.
You better,
crazy.
Or you go crazy.
Yeah, but anyways, I was asking. I do see I've been composing common traits with the same things that I've been seeing. Like, what do they have in common? And the hat thing, like that tin hat, like wearing a pot for a hat, is so
right.
weird.
Right.
But I think that there's like 7 different fallen angels that you'll see the characters being manifest over and over and over. So you'll see the same kind of beings.
Right.
But I also see them. It seems like a lot of them wear sunglasses.
Oh yeah. I do run into that. No.
Do you notice that they wear sunglasses?
Yeah.
And also, there's a kavav, I think it's called, like what moths have when they suck up like nectar. And that's the parasitic nature of them sucking our whoosh or our essence out of our bodies. So. Yeah.
Well, I think it's very. Yeah, and.
Have you noticed the sunglasses?
No, I just ran into that in one of my last 2 videos. It was, yeah, and I also think oftentimes they wear a protective headgear, almost like a helmet.
Like, like the gray aliens.
Yeah, it could well be. So, but yes, and I just ran into that at Skinwalker Ranch. And it could be because they live underground. They just can't take, the sunlight.
Kind of symbolism about that they're anti-light.
Well, it could be also. Right. And this helps me a lot because, when you do this on your own a lot, you don't have any banter too much. You kind of go up. You kind of start thinking that in one direction. And it's good to get some other opinions. Yeah.
And in fact, you try to do share with people, and everyone just thinks you're crazy. So it's really hard on your ego.
Yeah, I've run into that. I have. So,
I did notice, I have Morgellons disease, and it's a pathogen that they actually took out a patent on the pathogen, even though it's a biological weapon, and they're not supposed to make biological weapons on United States soil. Actually, there's a class lawsuit. We're suing this Palo Alto firm. But it is definitely using nanobiology, and those faces you're seeing all over, like Grand Canyon, you can see them all over my skin. Okay.
Well, that's funny you said that. Yeah, and it's there's like a micro version of it, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
As above, so below. It's a law of Jesus said, look to the skies above to see what's yet to come. So it's like the sky is like a higher dimension. It's the second heaven. It's air, and that's where the archons rule. They rule the air, not ether, but air, and that's the second heaven. Now we have to go through the second heaven before we go to ascension, and that's the fifth dimension, like the fifth. So why does everyone talk about ascending to the fifth, but whatever happened to the fourth? Well, the fourth is in such a good neighborhood, and you see them more and more. It's because we're going into their territory faster and faster, and it's in a twinkle of an eye, they will instantly appear, and we will be in their world. So we're seeing them, but they're really like a physical representation, I think, because they're in a different dimension.
Right.
But as we come faster, closer and closer to going through the fourth, and hopefully go quickly to the fourth and go to the fifth, this is the big time of the Bible where they talk about, the Antichrist rules at this time. It's very dark and heavy, and I don't think it's AI. I think these beings play us very well. But we're intelligent. We understand technology for the first time in a long time. But they probably go around collecting the harvest from many planets. And many times they probably don't have any technology. So they look up in the sky and see these scary dragons and stuff.
Right.
And you're overwhelmed. But I see that the cloud pictures I've been taking pictures, there's always a spaceship behind the cloud type thing.
Right.
Yeah, and I have a video of being attacked by an archon. And it's really,
I buy into the archon theory. Yeah.
Personally, because I think there's a lot of insight around that. But I won't show it to anybody. It's a heavy vibe.
Right. No.
And Roger, have you noticed like a psychic connection sometimes when you're looking at these pictures? Do you feel like they can see you through the picture?
Say that one more time. What did you just say?
Sometimes when you're looking at these photographs, especially your own photos that you took yourself, do you ever feel like you psychically connect to these archons?
That's an awesome question, because and here's even more so. There's a real familiarity with a lot of these. It's like I've seen this before, and it's more than deja vu. And I guess I've seen it in another state of consciousness. That's the only way I could have seen it, and kind of have this memory of it. But it's not. Some of this stuff floors me, like I've never seen it before. But a lot of it is very familiar. So yeah. Oh, I was going to say also many times when I'm working on videos, like if you see what I've got up right now, stuff like this. It's very depleting. It wears me out.
Yeah. That's why I don't like to. I teach a class called Ascending to Ascension. And it talks about like the whole dark element here. And I don't talk about the archon. I talk about the archons and everything, but I don't show that many pictures because people get like really like almost ill in the pictures, and I don't realize that because I've gone through all my fear. I got through all my this shit with them, and I don't have any fear with them at all. So, but I forget that this is the first time for many people looking at these crazy creatures, and they're not Spielberg material. I mean, these UFO people, they don't do anyone service because
they don't.
They're in this own weird paradigm. Talking about gray aliens, I never seen a gray alien.
Well,
I see these weird interdimensional beings. Cartoon characters.
Yeah, the cartoon characters, exactly. I lost my train of thought here, but no, you sound just like me. I'm glad you called. No, it's well, I'm not, sorry, but I got distracted. I'm sorry, but
it's okay.
It's just something. Oh, I was going to say the Bible says that there will be a point, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of it seems like prophecy is unfolding these days, and but one I think it's in. Oh, I won't try to quote the book, but it does say in that there will be these sites that will cause men's hearts to fail. And well,
merry making on the day where they'll look up and they'll be so shocked.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared that
Right.
they dropped dead heart 6. And that's, Nibiru and Nemesis.
uh-huh.
That Nibiru is coming in, and it has. I have pictures of that too, and it has 7 planets. The 7 fallen
Right.
angels are the DE entities. They're not just planets; they're also entities.
You're not familiar with a channel called Nibiru Followers Anonymous, are you? It's oh well, no. She's kind of specializes in this stuff. Oh, in fact,
Well, it's a Nemesis.
Right.
And the Hindus talk about it too. It comes and nails our Lord to a cross, and then he goes into darkness for 3 days and 3 nights. The whole world will, and then we ascend with the Christ. We are the Christ. We all are the Christ. We are that indication.
No, I know I know what you're talking about.
So, but I just think it's fascinating science. I'm just so blown away because I find it so fascinating and interesting, but I have nobody to really discuss it with because even my spiritual, advanced friends can't handle it. It seems
Right.
like.
No, and I think maybe we're on the right track. Maybe we're finally doing something right here because I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did this format tonight because it took it took all day to set this up, but it was well worth it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get some more people trying to call in.
Sure.
But I hope when we do this again, you'll give us a call back.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Roger. Thank you so much for all your help.
No, what part? Where are you in California?
If you want to take a look at the skin and the actual technical stuff about how they actually can turn American humans into zombies and control their body,
Right.
the science is all there. And I'm convinced that that's what the experiment I'm involved with, which I never volunteered for. But I'm an activist, and I was doing chemtrail. My second book was going to be on chemtrails, and I think they were trying to figure out a scenario because I have it on videotape. Them spraying the stuff all over me, and then 2 days later I got violently sick with Morgellons. So
Really?
and I had 2 heart attacks and pneumonia. So
Oh, wow.
I was in the hospital because
Oh, you sound good.
It's interesting. Thanks. God bless you, sir.
All
Keep up the
right.
good work.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot for calling. We'll talk again sometime. Bye-bye. That was interesting. Everyone's still there? We're going to wrap it up here in just a little bit. But this, I have a hard time selecting what's my favorite picture, and I wouldn't say there's any one because they're all like my children, but some are better than others. This is one of my favorite pictures. This is an island off of the very tip of Argentina and Chile, Tierra del Fuego, and its name is Isla de los Estados, and I guess so. I'm told it roughly translates to Island of the Estates. Some people, for some reason, call it Staten Island. Okay, so, but the Island of the Estates, and I did one video, well, maybe 2 about this. This is an amazing site because you're not seeing this in relation to anything, but I have other pictures of this area. These, and I don't know if some of them look like they're very much in motion. And this looks like actually like it's water flowing right here, but this guy here. Okay, for instance, the heads on Mount Rushmore are 60 feet. This would be somewhere in the 60-foot range where I'm making that circle. That's how tall these guys are. And you can see that there's something kind of ancient looking and carved. It's on a South Atlantic island that no one can go to because the Argentine military is down there to keep people out. And look at this though. And this is very much the same thing we see in the Grand Canyon. Almost identical. These guys here, like this, and this, and this, that they I do believe that they were here before humans, and they could well be here now. Maybe they're gone. Maybe this is just an extinct race of individuals. But they're definitely, there's something so incredible on this island. I need to do more work on it. And also, I don't want to give too much away, but or talk out of turn. But I really do think there's a version of dinosaurs on this island, what I can tell. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay. Yeah, but this is one of those things that after I did the video, they went off and hit everything. Let me see here. Giants roamed the earth before. Yeah, giants are here. I will bet the barn on it. Oh, patio. Okay. Hang on one second. If I can find this. Well. Oh, well. This is a good one. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is from an Apollo. I think this is Apollo 16. It's a really good video. And it's still on my list here. But this thing. This is in the background behind an astronaut. And that's not a rock. It's a shelter of some sort. You can see it has these support legs, and there's kind of an entrance. I suppose maybe you hop up in there. And that's not a rover or anything. That's I won't get into that. But suffice it, it's sufficient to say that is not a rock. That's in a moon picture. Does it mean it's on the moon? Not necessarily, but it's in a moon photo. And here's a close-up of it. Let's see here. But yeah, there's some figures on it. This is early in my career on doing this stuff. And I want to find one more thing. I just ran into it. Oh, the Dream Stela. That's what put me out of business with the platform I'm on. They didn't like that. Oh gosh, they erased all my pictures. There's the Dream Stela again. And if you haven't seen this picture, there's a big monolith in front of the Sphinx with hieroglyphics on it. And I contend that they changed it. And I found some old pictures of the Sphinx, and I was able to bring out a lot of the detail, and it's completely different from what's there now. Because you've got guys like this on the Dream Stela. I mean, I don't think we've seen any hieroglyphics with these guys on there. All right. Wow, we had a great night. And I want to thank everybody for hanging in there. I hope you enjoyed it to some extent. My computer's getting tired. I don't know. Oh, hang on. Darn it. We just saw that. Well, this may be a sign that it's time to wrap it up. I'm going to look for one more good thing here to leave off on. My biggest fear is, well, not one of my biggest fears, but I'm like, what if there's an indecent photo in one of these? I'm like, well, I didn't put it there. Okay, guys. Well, okay. I guess. Darn. Oh, hang on. Almost found it. No, that's not it. I'll have to do this in the next one because maybe this is it. This is a good one. Hang on there. Hang on, folks. Oh, here we go. All right. This was in the video about this. Now, this is not... The only thing I'm trying to show is an aerial view of streams and rivers running through valleys in the Himalayas. See these white lines? These white lines? Okay, that's not the best picture, but you get the gist of it, right? Sandy Sears, hi. And if I haven't seen you on the feed, it's not that I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to show. I'm trying to figure out how to show these pictures. But okay, so you saw the white lines. All right, so you see this. That's pretty good right there. But these, and this is very typical. And I mean, I see this all the time in photos that have these ships in them. But here's a ship. When I say a ship, I'm talking about a flying vessel of some sort, either spaceship or flying saucer. I do want to say I've never seen a flying saucer yet. There are all of these. Well, I will say this. To me, they look kind of like RVs. They're these kind of boxy things. And but from a distance, from up in the sky, and you saw all these white vessels in a line, it would look just like a stream. That it's that easy, and that's why planes and satellite photos you don't see these things. But this is one of my very favorite pictures. Let's try this one. That's one I'm on. We'll do a close up on that guy. I'm pretty sure you can see that. You can see there's windshields here, windshield, and they've always got these. You know, they build a lot of their buildings and structures look like physical people. So I don't think that's possibly a real person. That's just a representation of something. Let me bump that up a little bit. All right. Well, I think we're going to leave off here. I hate to go. I think we had a great fun tonight. I really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you continue to watch these videos. I got a lot of good stuff coming out, and it really does my heart good to commune with so many of the people I see in the comment section so often. And hi, Victoria. Victoria had a moment. Where do I find those dragons you mentioned? When I was talking about the dragons, I was talking about a lot of the ships look very much like they're animals of some sort. So my suspicion is that, like, the Chinese people and you know they're dragons and you know British stories about St. George or King whoever fighting the dragon, they I think there's a basis of reality there. I think there's a basis of reality for giants. Obviously, there's a basis of reality for gnomes and leprechauns. There's what's really funny is, well, not funny, haha, but funny. Well, it's not funny. It's what's really, I guess, depressing is that we're not a part of this. We're kept out of it, and maybe at one time, humanity was a big part of this. I don't want to digress too much. I've seen so much from the mid, I guess it would be the, what would it be? The 17th century, the 1800s, that something happened, something major happened right around the middle of the 18th or the 17th century, the 1800s, and right around this American Civil War. There's too much that doesn't make sense, and I won't go into it totally here, but we as a species, we've forgotten our history, and I think we haven't just forgotten it. It's been purposely erased from us. And I hope that's not happening now, because you see a lot of things going on where history is being challenged dramatically. Okay, well, but we got to do the best we can, and we got to do what we can during these times. So anyway, I'm going to do more on that because I don't think Abraham Lincoln, and you know what? I didn't touch on that picture tonight, but I got some great funeral pics from Abe's funeral, and I think he had a lot of friends from out of town that showed up, that's for sure. Anyway, okay, so if anyone have anything to say before we sign off here, history is not what they told us, that's for sure. Sorry I missed this from the start. Yeah, my ancestors, Red Lion, my ancestors speak to the Champay. What is a Champay? And hey, Red Lion, you can email me at rogerinKC1@gmail.com and tell me about this. Victoria, it was great. I'm glad you called tonight. Diane, I'm glad you didn't miss it either. Joey McSmokey, Lord of the Rings wasn't such a stretch. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. There's a lot of stuff. I think much of it, they're just telling us what's going on in an entertaining fashion. Okay, I guess I'm worn out. How do these radio guys do it all the time? I'll tell you this, I've got the perfect face for radio. All right, well, thank you for watching. I really enjoyed you all being here. I hate to leave, but I guess it's my bedtime. I have farmer hours, for real. So, thanks for watching. I'm glad you were here. I hope you're having a nice weekend. I hope the people in those RV spaceships are having a nice weekend. And again, it's great seeing you all. I really appreciate you showing up because it's really depressing if nobody shows up. Anyway, I'm Roger in Kansas City. Beautiful Kansas City. And real quick, if you don't know it, Kansas City is in Missouri. There's actually two of them. There is a Kansas City in Kansas, but we're on the Missouri side. That's the bigger one. We're also the largest city of Missouri. So anyway, I'm Roger in Kansas City. Thank you for watching, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh. I can't start. Oh. I can't stop.